Okay, last example here on 8.3, kids. Here we go. Solving a real life problem involving this stuff. It says the horizontal distance d in feet traveled by a projectile launched at an angle of what? What do we pronounce this as again, kids? Theta. And with an initial velocity or initial speed in feet per second is given by d, the number of feet, equals v squared, or feet per second squared, over 32 times the sine of what, kids? 2 times, yeah. Looks like 20, but this is really 2 times theta, where theta is going to be some angle, okay? So it says estimate the horizontal distance traveled by a golf ball that is hit at an angle of what? With an initial speed of what? Okay, here's what's happening here, kids. So you're down, do I have any golfers in here? Anyone out for golf? Okay. So, I'll never claim to be a good golfer. I can't even hit the ball. Okay, you're golfing, here's the ball. You're going to hit the ball off a tee, and it's going to go up here. It's going to kind of go like this. You hope it goes like this, don't you? And lands out here and then runs down the fairway like that, okay? So it says there's some things in here. First of all, how fast is this hit? What's the speed, kids?
90.
Okay, so it's going to take off going that way at 90 feet per second. And then with the angle of the ground, it says, what's this angle theta going to be down here, kids? Yeah, we would assume the ball's really down at the ground. This angle it's going to hit off of it's going to go. Now, what's going to happen to the angle as it travels? It's going to flatten out and become negative, isn't it? Okay. But what angle is it hit at initially? How many of you guys watch baseball in the summer? Anybody watch baseball games?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm kind of the weird one that watches the Twins every night. But ease down now. Ease down. All right. Baseball's gotten really interesting, and it's interesting to me because they'll always talk about it. If someone hits a home run, they talk about how fast the velocity off the bat was. They'll say it was going like 123 miles off the bat. They talk a lot about launch angle right here. What angle? Was the ball popped up, or was it hit so hard that it went out like this? They talk about launch angles, and this has become like a whole analytical thing. Like, if you can hit at this launch angle and hit at that speed with this launch angle, you're going to hit home runs like crazy. So they've been training batters to change their what's known as launch angle right here to hit better. Okay, sounds like a good job for me, doesn't it? And it probably pays better too. I'll bet. Maybe, I don't know. It says in this right here, you know it's hit 90 feet per second at what angle?
20 degrees.
Okay, it's going to travel out here a certain distance d. I don't know what that d is. Okay, but we do know that d is given by what formula here, kids? B squared over
32.
Times the sine of. We're going to use that formula to estimate the horizontal distance down here, how far it traveled from the tee to where it landed by that golf ball that's hit with an angle of how many degrees? 40 degrees at an initial speed of what? Here we go. All right, now kids, I want to make sure you've got the right mode on your calculator. Type in sine of 90 for me. Make sure you get 1 out. Okay, I want to make sure you're in degree mode. Why am I using degree mode here in this problem, kids? What was the launch angle measured in?
40.
Degrees. Everybody hit sine of 90 in their calculator. Make sure that picks out the right value for you. Should kick out 1. Anybody not getting 1? All good? Well, that's right. Our distance d is going to be equal to, help me out, friends. What's going to take the place of v up here?
90.
So 90
90
squared over what value?
32.
Times the sine of what?
Sine of
2 times 40, right? Which is really going to be what value? Okay, so what I think you should do here, guys, is this. I think you should punch this in your calculator like this. D equals, go 90 squared, in parentheses like this, divided by 32, times sine of, in parentheses, 80. What are you guys getting? 249.3 up here. And that would be, so if it was hit in feet per second, and how is D measured again?
Feet.
249.3 feet?
Yep.
Does that look like a drive, or does that look more like, I got out like my 8 or 9 iron to try and land it? 249.3 feet, that's, I'll divide it by 3, so 83 yards. That's like a, you're just trying to get to the green, so that's not a drive, is it? Well, if that is a drive, you're gonna be shooting way over par, right? Okay. Kids, does that make sense?
Yep.
I know it's been a while since we've talked about some things, but I want to get you the quick quiz, give you some time to start looking at the assignment. If you have questions today, make sure you bring them to my attention. Tomorrow is kind of like a work day to get back into the flow of things. What questions do you have for me right now? You're going to have a question on the quick quiz. It's going to say use the unit circle to answer these questions. You're going to want to use that. You know that chart I keep referring to so far? That special angles chart? That's where you're going to want to refer to that at. Okay? Make sense to everyone? Okay. Give me a second to stop this. I'll get the quick quiz to you. Guys, I already sent out big ideas today, so that's there. You'll want to take a look at that. Oh, shoot.